Welcome, everybody, to the state of AI in 2025. What's working now and what you need to pay attention to. In this conversation that we're about to have is going to put you in a position to win in 2025 and for years to come, and help you understand what's working practically and how we can leverage AI, ChatGPT, and all the tools in ways for business growth, plus where things are going, because this is a rapidly evolving industry in a good way. And there's a huge opportunity for all of us to build better, more efficient, more productive businesses and do more with less faster. It doesn't have to be harder. And these things are going to stack on top of each other like Lego blocks or like building a house. So that's what we've got on the horizon here. I'm your host, Rob Cressy, alongside my co-host and partner, Colin Scotland. Colin, how you doing today?
Fabulous, Rob. Excited to see everybody here. Welcome to this seminal state of AI conversation that Rob and I will be having today. It really is a distillation of all of the work that Rob and I do in the field of AI every single day in our businesses and with our clients. And you guys are going to get a snapshot of exactly where we're at and exactly what's on the horizon. So it's going to be a fun, value-packed session.
Yeah, and the inspiration behind this, shout out to our community member, Jason. He hit us up and he's like, hey guys, I would love to know from you guys, what are you seeing in the world of AI and what's working for you now? So we're like, boom, let's do the state of AI. And Colin and I run a community called Unlimited Coach, which is all around helping you grow your business via self-development and AI. If this is something that you enjoyed this conversation, check us out, unlimited.coach. So we're going to break up this conversation into two different areas. Number one, what's working right now? And what Colin and I are going to do is share exactly things that we are using in our business right now to deliver business growth. And Colin and I are very unique in the way that we do things. And I'm very creative. I'm very front of house. I'm very energetic. Colin is great with systems and processes and tech. He plays around with a lot of different things right there. So we're going to start with that. And then number two, what we're going to do is we are going to look at what's on the horizon for 2025 and where you want to know this is what's going to be coming so that you can better understand how can you position yourself for it right there. Colin, can you unmute yourself, because I muted everybody because there's somebody coming in from the background there.
All good. All good. Excited, Robert. Let's dive in.
Cool. And just as a heads up for everybody, if you can just mute yourselves while we're doing this. If you have thoughts or questions, please use the chat right there. Colin and I are going to try and stay active here. But this is going to be heavy note-taking time. This is going to be very inspirational and empowering for you, because our goal is to take what's in our head, what we are doing every day in our businesses and with our clients to help you succeed. And if at any point when you're listening to this, you're like, wow, I feel behind or I'm overwhelmed, I encourage you to throw that in the trash, because here's the beautiful thing. You are not behind by the simple fact that you are on this call right now, because this is all designed around how we can help you succeed with AI and ChatGPT and everything moving forward. And it's probably one of the number one self-limiting beliefs we hear from people that we talk to, because they see where people are without realizing the overwhelming majority of the market is still sitting at zero. And one of the things that Colin and I teach is, just like riding a bike, all you need to do is get in your reps, get in your 20 hours with AI and ChatGPT, whether you're using ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or whatever it is. Do that and you will get better by doing this. And your investment in yourself, both with your knowledge, both with your ability to understand what's on the horizon here, is going to be an immediate level up for you, for your skills, your application, your use cases. This will be a separator. And right now, there is an absolute massive opportunity right now for you to be an AI thought leader in your industry for how you are using it. It doesn't mean you need to be coaching AI, but it means that when you look at your industry and what you are doing, there's going to be things that you can implement in your business that nobody else is going to be doing. Because remember, ChatGPT has only been around for us publicly for about 2 years right now. So I just wanted to give this caveat. Colin, anything that you wanted to add on top of this?
Yeah, only you may be familiar with the diffusion of innovation curve, this bell curve of how we adopt new technologies, new things as they come up, right? Even though ChatGPT is just over 2 years old, November 2022, we are still at the very early phases of AI adoption in the entire world, right? As big as it's getting right now, it's still tiny. So, like Rob said, throw any sense or idea that you're behind the curve into the trash, because the reality is you're not. This is an industry that is going to take over the world in terms of economics and size. So you are 100% ahead of that curve right now.
Yeah. And if you're feeling resistance or overwhelm, you're in the right room. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And that's how Colin and I get to where we are, is we put ourselves in rooms that stretch us. So Colin, we're going to start with what's winning right now. And the number one thing, and you and I are aligned in this, and this is how we coach and we teach for all of our clients. The thing that is winning in AI right now is being human first, which is so contrarian to the way that most people do this, because marketers ruin everything. So when ChatGPT comes out, everyone's like, I'm going to write a book in 12 seconds. I'm going to write endless blog posts, and I'm going to SEO optimize all of it, and I'm going to take over Google. But then everyone's like, wow, everything sounds generic. Tapestry, delves, crafted, superpowers, right? And you're like, wow, I didn't realize this is a thing, but you can now see what AI looks like right now. And it's why Colin and I created a framework that we call the human AI sandwich, because we believe in being human first in the way that we can create. And this single thing right here is an absolute game changer, that if you implement this in the way that you use generative AI, aka the ChatGPTs and the Geminis of the world, this will separate you from everybody else and put you in a position to succeed for decades. So Colin, can you concisely give what's the human AI sandwich and how does this work?
You might have heard that AI likes to hallucinate, make things up, make mistakes, all of these things, right? What the human AI sandwich does is it taps in to how the AI actually works, the way that it's architected, and it essentially gifts the AI content that comes from the human, and then the AI takes and manipulates that content into generating something that's of use, and then the human modifies the outputs. So we're playing in to how the LLMs, the large language models, work. They are experts in pattern recognition. So by giving it an expansive pattern of, hey, I want to talk about this and I want to share that, and here's my idea, and it might be a voice note, it might be a transcript, it might be a video, it might be written text, but when we give the AI that clear direction first, the outputs are so much better. Hallucinations all but disappear. They don't completely disappear, but they almost disappear, and the outputs are infinitely better when we focus on the human first. Not only that, but Rob and I believe firmly and strongly our purpose here is to help those that are on a mission to change the world through the work that they do. That's people changing the work through the work that they do, not the AI, not the technology. So this technology isn't here to replace, it's here to accelerate, to amplify, and to help you reach the stars through your work and to change lives in the process.
Cool. So kind of a big thing right there. So Colin, let's now start to get into some of the very tactical things. And we'll sort of ping pong this back. The number one thing that is winning for me right now is ChatGPT. And I am unique in that I go as deep as humanly possible. One of the things that I hear often is, well, Rob, do you use Claude and Gemini and all these other things? And I'm completely aware of all of this. And you can even look on my LinkedIn bio. It says ChatGPT and self-development coach. And why? Because I take a bottom-up approach as opposed to top-down. I could say I'm an AI coach, but that's like saying I'm a digital marketer. That means a million different things. But ChatGPT to me is the Xerox of the industry. It also passes the mom test. And what is the mom test? You say, hey, mom, do you know what Claude or Gemini or Perplexity is? And she's like, I have no idea. Mom, do you know what ChatGPT is? Yes. The same way that you would be like, mom, do you know who Anthony Edwards is? Who is that star point guard for or shooting guard for Minnesota? No. Do you know who LeBron James is? Yes. LeBron James passes the mom test. Anthony Edwards does not. Shout out to Ant because he's awesome for all you sports fans. But it's a very simple framing for why I use ChatGPT as my default, because I understand that there's different things that other LLMs or generative AI is good at. But for me, I know that the king is shipping the results or shipping the work. So yes, one might be 5% better over another. And Colin's going to give you a unique perspective on how he sees this because he likes to play with these. So what we're sharing are perspectives, not absolutes. So for me, I go as deep as humanly possible in how I am using ChatGPT. And I wanted to share a handful of use cases to open up your aperture for how I'm doing this. And then this is in no order. Number one, self-coaching myself. Our ability, Colin and I are both master creators and coaches in self-development as well as AI and marketing. Our ability to co-create. Hey, here's an idea or concept on my mind. Boom, let's unpack this thing right here with it. So I'll give a quick example of what this looks like for you so that you can see in real time, what does coaching yourself mean? Have you guys ever heard the term, everything you need is already inside of you? I have. The thing is, I know it to be true. I believe it to be true, yet somehow I don't totally live it. So I went in here and I was like, hey, everything you need is already inside of you. With Ed Milet as my world-class coach, I want to unpack this and advise me on it as I want to create 2025 into my best year ever. It's a quote that is deep and I get, and the ability to live it is the key. So I want to take it from quote to embodiment, and I gave it some additional context here. And here's one nugget that really just lit everything up and is changing my 2025. Trust the source within you. Everything you need is already inside of you because you are connected to the source of all creation. I sat here and I was like, I can't believe I always thought this quote was about how much knowledge I know and not to judge that there's things that I don't know. I didn't see that it's actually being connected to the source of all creation and allowing that to flow through me. Boom. Very simple example of how I self-coach myself right there. Colin,
Ooh,
go ahead.
yeah, Rob, you know what you've just done there is really beautiful because one of the best things that you can use AI for, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, all of these large language models, we use them interchangeably. And as Rob argues, de facto standard is ChatGPT. So we tend to use ChatGPT. It really doesn't matter whether you're using that Gemini, Claude. I'll go into some detail on that in a second. But what you've just done beautifully there, Rob, is you've shown an example of how these AIs are actually useful as co-thinking. We call them a co-intelligence or a thinking partner, ways that we can think differently as a result of our application of the LLM, of the AI. And so that was an awesome example of that, Rob. That's changed your thinking of exactly that, right?
Right. So now here's the use case for each of you. Thought or feeling or quote you want to dive into. Boom. You start with that. You can task it. So you'll notice I said with Ed Milet as my world-class coach. Well, why? Well, Ed's one of my digital mentors, but I also know Ed specializes in self-development. He's worth pretty close to $1 billion, and he's someone who could unpack that. Yes, ChatGPT could just use what it's already good at, but it would be like the difference of, I want you to talk to me about money versus Warren Buffett is your financial advisor in how he's going to respond to this. So there's little nuggets of this. Remember this, and this is so important. System scale. With ChatGPT, you have the ability to turn anything into a process or habit. The number one thing that Colin and I do, among other things, is build systems for our businesses and our clients in how we leverage ChatGPT. Number three, every element of building a brand. Almost all of the brands that I've built in the last 2 years have started by co-creating with ChatGPT, back and forth. And then last thing, Colin, I'm going to let you go in here because there's about 20 other ones, is optimization. So now we can start to look for the inches, because for all of us who are on this call as high performers on this path to greatness, we can always make everything better. And it's an attention to detail, from optimizing your subject line to your CTAs, to your hooks in your videos, to your scripts, and everything's what's the best practice? What's the best practice? What's the best practice? So now better, 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 faster. Colin, what about you? What's winning for you right now?
Awesome. Yeah. So just to step back a little bit, I like to play, as Rob mentioned, in all of the tools almost at once. I'll have them all open in a tab. I'll have a Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT all open at once, and I play one off against the other. So I take the outputs from Claude, put that into chat, and then have that work its magic on those outputs. And the reason that I like to do that is because there are a lot of tools out there right now called unified tools, and you might have seen them, where you get access to all of the AI models in a single place, and you're able to play with all of the different LLMs in one go. The reason I don't like those models at the moment is because they use what's called the raw API. So they plug directly into the AI, whereas the proprietary models have subtle optimizations baked in to their text interfaces that affect the outputs. So in my experience, I'm able to better modify what I get from the AI using the text-based inputs. This is why I use each individual LLM in a separate tab and then feeding one into the other to improve the outputs. We mentioned about the expert in pattern recognition. So the better instruction you can give, good in equals good out. And so then as you compare and play with these different AI tools, you'll see differences in, even with the same input, you'll see differences in the output. That's where I love to geek out, is on those things. But yeah, so I hear you on the Xerox thing, Rob, but I do love playing in the field, man, playing in the sandbox.
So, Colin, for someone thinking, do I need to be checking out Claude and Gemini and all of these other ones? What's your advisement on this? Because we want to give the 0 to 1 and then the mastery level of this. So for me, I love going deep, but I also know Colin's my partner here. I also, and I'm going to share this later on, I'll show you my process for how I stay forward thinking with AI. But what do you say for people who are like, hey, I'm just starting out, or maybe I'm in the middle?
So if you're just starting out, go with the Xerox standard. Just go with ChatGPT, play in that space. You're not missing out by not playing in all three like I do. There's nothing that you're missing in that, you know. And so one is always better than a zero. And so going with something like ChatGPT is perfectly fine and a great starting point, because once you're in the game, then you can start geeking out like I do and playing with other stuff. If you're at a zero right now, ChatGPT would be the de facto standard that we would recommend that you start playing with.
Perfect. So, Colin, we've got about 7 minutes in this opening section remaining. So, a few other things for you guys. This is something that is so simple, but simple scales, especially with our knowledge and application of ChatGPT. And one of the use cases for me is everyday use cases. So, I'm going to share with you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different mantras that I use and ask myself and teach our clients that can help open your aperture to what's possible with using generative AI and ChatGPT. So, number one is, what are you not asking ChatGPT to do? So, on the very first call with every one-on-one coaching client that I have, one of the action items I say is, I want you to come back the next call and tell me 3 everyday non-business use cases in which you use ChatGPT. And why? Because I want to work on your vision for your ability to see the connection on, oh man, I never realized that I could ... So I'll give you some very simple examples. I've got a 3-year-old son, and he's really big into Moana right now. So he goes, hey, Dad, can you draw me a Moana's boat from Moana 2? And we have a big easel and a whiteboard there. And of course I could do it. But I then said, hey, ChatGPT, can you give me a step-by-step for how to draw Moana's boat? Why? Because this can be better, it's faster, and I can just follow those instructions myself, and the boat is significantly better. Number 2, last night I made steak salad for dinner, and for the first time ever, I bought thin New York strip steaks. So on the grill, I'm used to doing it where it's, I don't know, 5 minutes aside for medium rare, but these thin steaks, for any of you guys, they're tiny. So I say, hey, ChatGPT, to get medium rare on these thin steaks, how do I cook this? Boom. There's another aperture right here. And here's another one. Randomly, the toilet handle in our guest bathroom broke. I'm no Bob Vila, so I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong and I don't know how to fix it. So I took a picture of the toilet handle, drew it, because remember, you can take a picture and upload it to ChatGPT. I put a little arrow and I was like, what is this and how do I fix it? And it goes, do. Go to Ace Hardware, buy this thing, done. 3 different use cases. So now I want to open your aperture to what's possible by you seeing, wow, I never thought that I could get a recipe, how to draw. Because remember this, for the rest of your life, you never have to figure out how to do something again. You just have to have the awareness to enter that into ChatGPT. So that's number 1. What are you not asking ChatGPT to do? Number 2, take what's in your head and get it into ChatGPT. What's the number 1 thing we hear from new clients? I just don't know what to put into ChatGPT. So Colin and I will just sit there and we'll ask a question like, well, what's the number 1 problem you have in your business right now? They're like, oh my God. And, blah, 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 blah. And we just sit there and we go, do, and just type away and then hit enter. And they're like, wait, what did you just do? I was like, well, Colin just typed in everything that you just said into ChatGPT. People just don't have the awareness of, wait a second, because AI works well with data. What is data? What's in your mind? So literally from its self-coaching to I'm building a brand to I'm creating a marketing funnel, your ability to be such a prolific creator that you automatically, when you have a problem, thought, or idea, drop it into ChatGPT. Colin, before I deliver the other mantras, anything for this that you want to yes and?
I've got a ton of use cases just to fly through a few, Rob, if you want me to do that quickly now, or...
Well, let me finish these mantras, then I'll get your use cases.
All good.
All right. Related to this, number 3, impress yourself. I want you on a consistent basis to ask yourself, when was the last time you were impressed by what you created with AI? Because I think back to some of the light bulb moments where I went and did something, and at the end result, I was like, damn, that was really good. I've never seen this before. So the little prompt becomes impress yourself, because remember, so many people are sitting here where they're not sure what to do, but that's entry into the game. We're now talking the next term being shatter your belief ceiling of what's possible, which will lead to the next mantra here being put this in your guys' creator tool belt for ChatGPT and AI. What is the invisible, hidden, or non-obvious ... that our competitors aren't doing, that I'm not seeing, that I'm not thinking about? Because we can sit here all day and try and think about what have I not thought of for the last decade or the last month. Or we can give a lot of context and say, ChatGPT, what's the invisible about my marketing funnel that I'm just not seeing right now? So now it's this thought partner right here, which leads us to the next sort of level of this. And we did this in a unlimited coach exercise earlier last week. Ask better questions. You can leverage AI to ask better questions. Better questions equals better results. Therefore, in your tool belt as a creator, no matter what the business use case or thing that you're looking to grow is, you sit there and you're like, man, I don't even know what questions to ask better questions. So here's what I want you to do, because this is exactly what we did as a community. I want you to set a timer for 5 minutes. And there's 2 goals. Number 1, for you to create a process for how to ask better questions. Because number 2, with that process, I want you to then create a light bulb moment for yourself and your business by following that process on how you can ask a better question that's going to get you a better result right there. And then the last mantra, talk to ChatGPT like an employee. The number 1 thing people fail at right there is they expect AI to do everything. We are the leader. It is the creative assistant or employee. If a new hire comes on board, you're going to say, this is what I want you to do. This is the details. This is the background. And this is what I want it to look like. So those are the mantras that are winning for us and our clients. And I want to share those with you. Colin, I know I was just shooting fire right there, but let's get to your use cases.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, I just want to share a few mind expanding areas that you may or may not have thought of so far. So one of the biggest ones that I use AI for is for self-reflection. So having a conversation with a potential client, run the transcript through AI, ask it to do a semantic analysis of the emotional drivers behind that potential client's what they said, what they think, what they want, what they're looking to achieve. And then I guarantee that your prospecting to convert to client ratio will at least double, guaranteed, right? Because you'll understand exactly what and where your ideal clients are looking for right now. Not only that, improving on yourself. So I look and analyze transcripts of coaching sessions. Fathom video is really powerful. It will record your online sessions on Zoom, and then it will give you things like, hey, you're monologuing right now, you're talking too long, all of that stuff on the fly, actually live in the coaching session. But I love to use the Ask Fathom feature and the dropping of the transcript as a text file into ChatGPT/Gemini/Claude for me, because I love geeking out, as you know. And then having that do some analysis on that conversation. You can also do that at scale. We'll get some more on that a little bit later when we talk about some other tech that is really winning at the moment. So being a better version of you is a really big one, and seeing the things that you didn't see. So Rob, with that Ed Milet quote, he saw that quote in a different light as a result of his interaction with the AI. So that is massive. Like, what am I missing? I put this into the chat just now. What am I missing? What have I not seen? And as a tenet, take this away, never accept version 1. The amount of training programs I've done and workshops where people have took the output from chat and thought that's it. They've got an output. That's that text now. That's written in stone. You know, it comes down from the mountain and it's written in stone. It's never written in stone. So never take version 1 of the outputs that you get from the AI. And then here are a few additional ways that you can have AI help and assist. Remember that AI is trained on the corpus of the entire knowledge of humanity, right? So anything and everything. If you're having questions about the things that Rob and I are sharing today, write them into AI. Ask ChatGPT, ask Claude, ask Gemini. If you are interacting with the world around you, take photographs, upload the photographs to the AI and learn and begin to use and build the habit of using this tool. That's the thing that will keep you ahead of this diffusion of innovation curve in the world of AI. My daughter's hot water went off in her house. She lives in a new house with a really intricate system of pipe work around the boiler. And I'm like Rob, I have no clue how to fix plumbing, right? So I had to take a photo of it, uploaded it to ChatGPT, and it pointed out exactly where the inlet and outlet valves are so that we can just connect the two together and fill the water system back up. It is magical in ways that you would never imagine. Okay, so our invitation to you is to explore. Thanks, Rob.
All right. And I'm going to end with one super valuable and one super thing or super family thing for you guys. And what I'm about to share, if you have not implemented this, this is about to change your life right here. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys real quick. So there's so much good content out there, podcasts, videos, ourselves included. And let's say you want to grow your YouTube channel and you see here, all right, 220,000 views on this, 6 million subscribers. If I had a small YouTube channel, I would do 5 things. Yeah, man, I really want to know what those 5 things are, but we're all high performers, entrepreneurs, executives, professionals, coaches. I've got 31 minutes to go and read this thing right here. So what we do is, and I'll drop this link in the chat, there's a plugin by Glasp called YouTube Summary. And what this will do is when you have attached this to Chrome, it will automatically give you the ability to copy the transcript from any video on YouTube. So I go in here over to our good friend ChatGPT and I say, I want to learn how to grow my YouTube channel. Please help summarize the best takeaways from this video. In bullet points, it's important you include the nuanced details as I'm looking to learn here. So depth is important as I want to take action. I click this button, copy transcript, and I paste this right into here, context. And what does this do? Boom, here's the summarize the key takeaways, actionable depth, the nuances. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, general tips, final action. Hey, Colin, I know we're working on growing our YouTube channel to 10,000 subscribers. Here's something I saw in a video that I didn't even have to watch that I'm going to send to you right now, and we can implement in this immediately. Man,
I love that, Rob. I love that. So one of the reasons that I like playing in the multiple tools is because the different tools have different elements to them. So this is something that you can do natively inside of Gemini. As an FYI, you can copy and paste the URL and it will give you a summary of the video because Gemini is Google, YouTube is Google, same company. So there are links behind the scenes there. So this is where explore really comes into its own. You know, there are no right and wrong, no black and white ways to do this. The thing is that you do what's important for you. And Margie, when you mentioned about putting soul into your work with the AI, that's exactly why Rob and I talk about human first. Because if we give us first, that's what's going to come out, or a version of it that will resonate with us. And so, you know, keep playing, keep exploring. Lots of fun to be had.
all right, last use case is for all of you who have young kids, but you can even open your aperture to here. And then we're going to get to what's on the horizon for 2025. Because this to me brought me closer to my son. So we all know that DALL-E is built into ChatGPT, the plus feature. So I'm sitting there before going to put my son to bed, and I was like, man, I wonder if I can just have him start to create some images with me. So I was like, hey, Maverick, what do you want me to create? And we created a bunch of different things here, from a pink snowflake to a Frosty the Snowman. And I'm sharing this one specifically because he goes, I want you to create me mud named Mud Mud in mud. I've never even heard him say the word mud in my life before, but somehow he's like mud named Mud Mud in mud. So I'm like, all right, let's see what this thing creates. Create me an image, a mud character named Mud Mud in mud on a farm in a fun way, multi-layered from a 3-year-old boy's perspective. And we're doing this on my phone. And we know it takes like 12 seconds. So I'd be like, 4, 3, 2, 1, make that mud mud. Like to try and play this thing up. And boom, it spits out this character named Mud Mud right here. And my son loses his mind because of how amazing this thing is. We have been talking about Mud Mud for 2 months straight, to the point where he wants more Mud Mud. Because guess what? You're going to see this as of, what was his last? All right. Create me an image, a rainbow character named Mud Mud in mud with a rainbow farm. So he's really big into rainbows now too. So here's another member of the Mud Mud family here. What am I sharing? The ability for us to use this to connect with our children or kids by exploring creativity. Let them share with you what they want to create, put it in here, and now we'll just go and create a rainbow taxi, a banana parade, a rainbow bronchiosaurus dinosaur with a Santa hat on. And this is how I'm spending more time with my son in a very simple, unique way. So I wanted to share that because I don't see very many people bringing kids into this, but this is where we can explore our creative brain in this there. So Colin, we actually did a very good job on the pacing side of things, a little bit more than 20 minutes there, but I know there was a lot of gold there. If you guys enjoyed the first part of that, let us know in the chat, or if you had any questions. Colin, I'm going to get this timer started again, because what we have now is the good. What we're about to share, neither Colin nor I have shared with anybody outside of our clients, and probably not at this level of depth. So what we're going to talk about now is what you need to know in 2025 on where things are going. And Colin, for me, there is one thing, only one thing, and we're going to give a bunch, that is on my mind for how we are going to win. And it is AI agents. And for any of you who have never heard this term before, I want you to remember this, because this is going to be the boom. ChatGPT was like the internet was invented or the car was invented. Like, holy smokes, this changed the game for decades. AI agents is going to change the way that business is done forever. So there is no hyperbole in what I'm saying with this, which is why it is so important that we share this, because I'm going to share a few quotes with you from the most important people in the world of AI to help you guys understand this. So, in no order, 2025 is the year AI agents goes mainstream. And what are AI agents? They are digital assistants with superpowers. They can take tasks off your plate by thinking, deciding, and acting on your behalf. So, unlike just ChatGPT, which can respond, they can take action. Why is this important? Because systems scale. And this frees you up to focus on what matters most. And I want to introduce you a term to you guys that most of you have probably not heard before. You're going to hear the term digital labor. So for any of us who have a virtual assistant, hey, it's somebody in another country that is working on your behalf on a specific task. So we understand what outsourcing a task looks like. In the world of AI agents, you will now have digital labor doing that instead of a virtual assistant. So here's a quote from Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA. AI agents are a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. I will say that again, multi-trillion-dollar opportunity from the CEO of one of the most powerful companies in the world. All right, next one, Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. We believe that in 2025, we may see the first AI agents join the workforce and materially change outputs of companies. So, distinct from an AI chatbot, an AI agent works autonomously. You tell it what to do, the agent goes off and does it. In other words, it can replace humans. So, in an ideal world, this is a multiplier of effort where you can delegate the worst parts of your job to AI, and that's from Ethan Mollick, the management professor at Wharton. So here's another thing. Any job that can be done solely in front of a computer will be done by AI agents within the next 24 months. Right now, Claude can take over your screen and do tasks for you. Caveat, it's cumbersome and it's error prone right now. So not everything is there yet with this. And then here's the last quote here. I think there are two axes for thinking about what AI is capable of. One is a question of how complex the task is that a system can do. And as AI systems get smarter, they get better in that direction. So with this is where our ability to think and create in systems and processes, knowing that, imagine you have one AI agent that is finding you all of the conferences that are speaking about AI or marketing or entrepreneurship. And the next AI agent puts all of that into a database in Google Sheets. And then the next AI agent connects to ConvertKit, and you've got a series of outbound messaging that says, hey, if you want to talk with Rob and Colin about booking us, go here. And then there's the next agent that links to your calendar, and all of that just starts booking things for you. Imagine if all of that was possible and was running while you guys are on this call right now. Colin, I'm super excited about this. My goal this year is to deploy my first AI agent. What do you think about this?
I honestly can't wait. I think that, I'm literally like a kid in a candy store with all of this AI stuff. I think it's phenomenal. And the reality is that the world is changing, whether we like it or not, are fearful of it or not. The world is changing and will never be the same again. If we thought last year was impressive in terms of change, this year is going to be even more so with the advent of AI agents as we embark on what they're calling the agentic era of AI, which is what 2025 is earmarked to be. And just a quick caveat is that there are a lot of solutions, softwares out there right now that you will see, and because you're looking in this field, you'll see in your Facebook feed, LinkedIn, all stuff, and they are masking as AI agents, but they're not AI agents. They are prompts that use the API of ChatGPT and Gemini and stuff like that. AI agents aren't actually widely available as we live and breathe right now. So just be aware of the difference between an AI agent and a packaged undercover GPT, they call it, right? Like prompts that look fancy. Sintra.ai is one. It looks really impressive, and it will ping stuff to the API, and it will have automations in there like make.com, Zapier, these glue automation type tools. So they look like agents, but they're not. Agents, when they arrive, are going to be a complete, I don't like the word because it's an AI word, but they're going to be a complete game changer. Hey, Rob?
Yeah, 100%. So right now, the way that I equate this, and remember, we understand that there's people who live in the world of AI and tech, who work for massive companies, who are all about AI, who are going to come from a unique perspective of this. Colin and I are entrepreneurs, we are creators, and we are coaches and innovators who are forward thinking, looking to use this technology right when it comes out. And in the last month, there are two phrases that I have latched onto, that I've created based on the conversations that I'm having with prospective clients and companies. And number one is time in market. One of the ways that Colin and I and all our clients are going to win is because of how much time we are spending in the market of AI and ChatGPT. I started using ChatGPT the first week it was out in beta, started coaching around it 2 months later. So we've been doing this for 2 years. So our time in market is amazing, so that when AI agents come, we're not sitting there wondering how in the world do we even talk to ChatGPT. Very important part of starting that process now. Remember, you are not behind. The same way, if you're an investor, the longer you're in the market, the longer you're in the market. And then number two becomes timing the market. Because of our time in market, when AI agents come, we're going to be ahead of the curve on how we can deploy these. And yes, Colin and I in our community, it's going to be a little bit clunky because we're going to have to go through the tech and the things that aren't working right now. But that's part of innovation. But guess what? There are quantum leaps that are going to happen. And the quote that I'm going to share with you, I just heard 2 days ago, and it made me so excited. I could not believe. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, him and his friends, when talking about AI agents, have a bet on when the first $1 billion one person company is going to be created. I'll say that again, the first $1 billion one person company. So that is why our ability to time the market is paramount, because you know what's true? Icebergs are slow moving to turn around. These giant companies that always do things the same way, slow. These industry leaders, man, they just can't. And here we are, they're barely using ChatGPT, and here we are talking about AI agents. I could not be more excited about this. Colin, anything you want to add before we move on to the next?
Yeah, so this is something that is on the near horizon. It's not something that you can actively do right now, but the type of thing that you mentioned there, Andrew, about creating a social strategy, creating posts and content, and then scheduling it, and then engaging with people who engage on socials. That's exactly the kind of things that AI agents will make possible very soon. Yes.
So, all right, Colin, next thing, and we're going to open our aperture to a few other tools here of what's on the horizon. I'm going to share my screen real quick. So, what I am super excited about is text to video. Have any of you guys used Sora yet? It's only been out about a month. If you're in the paid version in the US, you're going to see this little thing up here. You need to go to Sora.com to sign up for an account. But if you've already done that, you just click this little button here. And what this is text to video. And this is going to change. Hollywood is in some big time trouble. So if you've never seen this here, they've got this really nice platform here. Hey, here's all the featured stuff that you have. And you can look and see the various things that people have created right here. And you're like, wow, these things are super cool. So I want to show you how easy this can be for us to do. They've got a few buttons here. One of them is remix. So we're going to see this thing right here. And you're like, I want to remix that. Lizard, make that lizard a fluffy puppy dog, right? And of course, context is everything. How you use this for business is a different story on this. I just want to show you guys what this does. So up here, boom, you're going to see this thing cooking here. They let you choose how many video versions, how good the resolution, how strong the remix. And in your paid version, you only get so many credits of this. But I just wanted to show you what this looks like. And remember, this isn't perfect. This might just be your first exposure to what this looks like. So I'll actually show you guys. Oh, boom, this thing's done. Look at that. There's our puppy instead of a lizard. And of course, not perfect. That thing just glitches. But you say, all right, I'm just going to cut this out before the glitch. So when I first used this, I've been doing this with clients as well as myself. This is the very first thing that I created. The name of my podcast is called Built for the Game, to help you win in business and life for the long haul. I saw this image in the background was a library, but I was like, man, this wave really reminds me of the journey of an entrepreneur and being built for the game and all the storms and your ability to boom. I could turn that into a social post, voice over this thing right here, just like that. You also have the ability just to put in here anything that you want to create. A dinosaur eating a car. All right, dinosaur eating a car version. And of course, that's the most generic, terrible prompt, because one of the things that you can do while that thing is cooking, because I did this with another client. Rob, I've never used Sora before. What in the world do I do? All right, well, I'm going to go in here and say, I want to create a template best practices for creating prompts in Sora. Something I follow every time to get the best video possible. This will include the various elements that we design and add to the prompt. Boom. There's all the things here. I want to create them because I heard something that said you can do these as cinematic. Create me a guide and a prompt below. All right. Using our Colin, what do we want to create real quick?
Okay, let's create. Are we creating a video here?
Yes.
Using the
prompt. I'm going to show how you can create a prompt and then put it into, or someone put something in the chat.
Okay, why don't we create a video of a, what was that mud guy that you created for your son?
mud might be, all right. Using our prompt guide, create me an amazing prompt about kids playing mud. All right. I'm not even going to read what this thing says, right? It's just going to give me the Sora prompt right here in what we do. So go down right here. There's our thing. And you can even storyboard this thing. Boom. We're going to create this. Where I want to open your aperture is timing the market, timing market. You've now seen this 1 month into this existing. So what's this look like 1 year from now when you can create a 30-second video, a 1-minute video? So for my clients, one of them is a luxury waterfalls and pond company. And what he did is said, Rob, can you create me a luxury pond and waterfall? I did it in 12 seconds. He goes, oh my God. Now imagine Premier Ponds coming across this. And now this is your intro to your YouTube, or it's a something else right here. You can take your specific use case and put this into this right now. So this is just where things are getting started. You can remix any of these things, right? All right, we're going to talk about self-improvement or mindfulness. Putting that thing right there. We got this guy here. It's like there's so many possibilities. Colin, anything you want to add to this while we wait for this prompt to finish and we move on?
Only that, being based in the UK, I'm very envious, Rob, that Sora is not yet available in England. So VO, I put it into the chat. Google's VO is another one that is pretty spectacular, and I dropped a link in the chat for that there as well.
So, Colin, the next thing would be text to image. What's on your mind with Midjourney or Dolly or Adobe Firefly, or for any of us who use Adobe Photoshop, generative fill? Where's that on your mind?
So there's arguably de facto standard, the Xerox as with ChatGPT for LLMs, when it comes to image generation, the de facto standard is midjourney.com. That is arguably the best one on the planet as we live and breathe today. I love and play an awful lot inside of Canva's AI lab because they are creating some quite magical things in there that you can just create images from text. You can also modify text to say, hey, here's some text here. Let's make this a gold glitter colored effect, you know? So it's like photorealistic text effects inside of images. Canva is amazing. I dropped a link. We didn't get to it in the use cases, but another tool I'm using quite a lot for visualization, for creating infographics or diagrams of text. Drop a bunch of text into napkin.ai and it will create instant infographics and beautiful visualizations of that text. It is pretty spectacular.
Cool. So Colin, our Sora thing is still loading, so I'm not going to wait on that whenever it comes back. Here's the next thing on the horizon in 2025, and that is the world of coding. Coding is going to be changed forever. Programmers are in big time trouble because the ability for AI, I think I saw something where using GitHub, OpenAI is already like the 123rd best coder in the entire world. So the big eye opener for each of us is to throw in the trash the fact that you don't know anything about something and you've never done it. And that does not stop you from creating your own app, because we've got no code apps and websites. There's an app that I was playing with called Replit, Replit, which allows you to very easily build apps for yourself. And the key is expanding your mind to what's possible, even if you don't know it. And for many of us, it's like, wow, I never even think about the tech side. Imagine if you could create whatever app you wanted, boom, in a few days. Colin, anything on that?
Oh, so many cool things running through my mind, Rob, and not enough time to get through them. But let me just share this real quick because I've seen a few eyes light up when I talked about Napkin. This video that we took a summary of in Gemini earlier, the YouTube video, I just grabbed the 5 points from the video and in Napkin dropped the 5 points of text in here. And then you literally press this button and it will create an huge number of really interesting looking visualizations for that text. So I just took that random YouTube summary to create these text visualizations. But there are, like, you know, you can do this with any amount of text. So if you're creating blog content, social media content, and you want some interesting proprietary graphics for that, then Napkin AI is just awesome.
Love that. All right, Colin, we've got our Sora prompt done.
Let's have a look, Rob, and keen to see what this looks like.
1 second here. All right. We want a bunch of kids playing in the mud. That is unbelievable. We didn't have to do anything other than call and say kids playing in the mud. We used the prompt guide that we created. We threw this into Sora and boom. So for me, where's the simple use case? YouTube B-roll. You're sitting there and you're creating something about living a holistic life and playing with your kids and living on the farm. And then boom, 3-second B-roll of those kids sitting there dancing on the farm. Look how amazing and good that was right there. So as we're rounding third on this, Colin, there's a few things that I want to make sure that we touch on here. So what's going to win in 2025? And Colin and I are putting all of our chips on this. We said human interaction, it's community. Because despite the fact that we are so all in on AI, we know that AI is going to remove human interaction. So what is the thing that people are going to crave? Connection and human interaction. And what is something that AI cannot duplicate, or any company, overnight? Connection and community. Colin, can you drop the link to Unlimited Coach in the chat right there? It's
already done, my friend. Already done.
Colin and I feel obligated to share our community with you because, as he said, we want to help people who want to create a positive impact in the world through the work they do. And we know there's two levers that can help us do that: AI and self-development. And we truly want to support each other as peers, not as gurus or mentors. It's more of like you're in the right room with a bunch of people who are all rowing the boat in the same direction. So my encouragement for each of you is, where and how are you investing in community and people? Is it you as the leader, or is it you being a part of something? Because AI is going to disrupt so many businesses, but when we start to see how little human interaction is, a lot of businesses are going to be like, wow, we've been disrupted. And we want to all rise together. And the best way that we can do that is by tripling down on community, because it is the gift that literally keeps on giving. Colin, any yes and for that?
When we say human first, our vision for 2020, 2025 and beyond in this agentic era, this era of AI, then human connection, human interaction is going to really come to the fore, because the things that you say, the things that you share, your interpretation of the world around you is going to be more important than ever in this new world that we're facing in front of us. And so Rob and I's vision is to create a place where we can really nurture those connections and then leverage the tech, the AI, all of the good stuff that we've just geeked out over together today in order to increase our impact in the world. That's the goal, right? That we can go out and do better work, go further, go faster in our work and in the lives of those people that we serve. That's exactly what we do inside of the Unlimited community. And if you thought this was valuable, then we do this on steroids twice a week live inside of the Unlimited community. You know, if there's tech and tools and stuff, I kid you not, my list, I've got through about half of the things on my list about what we wanted to give to you guys in terms of kids in the candy store, right? This is the stuff that we go deep and we go live on twice per week inside of Unlimited. It is just amazing. It's phenomenal. Thank you for that lovely comment, Connie.
So, how in the world do you stay in the know and forward thinking with AI? One, being a part of our community, but number two, let me actually show you my process, because everyone makes it all hard. Oh my God, I don't have the time to learn about AI all the time. I'm not a tech guy. I have no tech background whatsoever. I just believe in winning and helping people. So, number one, systems scale. There's nothing you take from all of this. System scale. I want you to think in terms of systems for how you're using AI, including what is my system for how I learn and stay on the top of AI. So what did I go ahead and do? I created a dummy Gmail inbox, and I signed up for the top 5 AI newsletters, and I did a Google alert for ChatGPT, AI agents, and AGI. What do you think I did to prepare for this call right here? I click on this thing for AI agents, and it's like, wow, here is every article that is on the internet by day on AI agents. So now I can just pick and choose. Oh, all right, 5 companies using AI agents to drive innovation. I want to see what that is. Boom. Hey, Colin, look, Adobe's doing blah, 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 blah. Hey, everyone in our community. So that's number one. Number two, Twitter or X. You go in there and you just explore AI agents, and you just start searching. You click like how to build your AI agent. Guess what your feed is going to start being? All AI stuff. Because the beauty of Twitter is that there's a very vibrant AI community on there. So I just started to create a list of AI accounts of the best people in the world and what they're doing with AI. And that plus our community, that is legitimately the very simple structure of how I am staying forward thinking with AI. So let's not overcomplicate it that somehow I've built a rocket ship to the moon. This is just the simple way to make this happen.
Oh, Rob, let me yes and you very, very quickly, my friend.
Yes.
So one feature that has just arrived literally within the last 24 hours is tasks inside of ChatGPT. So something I set up this morning was a daily task inside of Chat to do. Chat has something called ChatGPT Search, which can search the internet. So every day at 9 a.m., Chat is going to scour the internet for the very latest AI news, create a generated summary of all of that news, and deliver that summary to me every single morning at 9 a.m. So, like we said earlier, no black and white, no hard and fast ways to do these things. Like, what is it that you're looking to achieve? Play inside of the tech, and there are infinite number of ways that you can stay ahead of that curve in this field, man. It's such fun, such fun. Light, easy, and fun. That's another of Rob and I's mantras inside of Unlimited.
Last thing, Colin, we feel obligated to share a few other terms as we wrap up on this that you may hear for the first time. So with AI agents, you're going to hear the term digital labor. You're also going to hear a term prompt injection. When you look at what's the challenge in AI agents becomes, what if somebody takes over the AI agent? They're going to do that with a prompt injection. The next one is going to be digital twin. In a digital twin is a virtual version of yourself. Imagine Rob in person, AI Rob, who can speak and be our content. There are two tools out there if you're looking to explore digital twins. The first one, HeyGen, HeyGen. That can create you a personal AI avatar that looks and sounds like you. The second one is Synthesia, Synthesia. That's AI generated video. A lot of companies are using that as their AI avatar for training. And then the last term is AGI, which stands for Artificial General Intelligence. Colin, what's AGI?
I just dropped it into the chat. AGI in the world of AI is known as the singularity. It's the place where everything is headed, right? So we get excited about AI agents. AGI is artificial general intelligence. This is the place where AI essentially can overtake human intelligence and be universally useful in terms of its application. So agents are a part of or a stepping stone on the pathway to AGI. It's a really useful term to understand. That's the thing that all of these companies are racing towards right now.
Well, so Colin, that was everything right there. I'm super excited about this. A few things. If you are looking to stay up in the world of AI, Colin and I just started launching our YouTube channel. I dropped it in the chat. You can search Unlimited Creating on YouTube. We're doing ChatGPT tutorials right there.